All right, another one was, I can't remember if it was the same visit that we went there. I don't think it was. I think we went down with Bud and Leona from Alamo, and we go down there to take medicines and stuff for Mary Lou and Betty. They were both nurses, and people, doctors in different places would send medicines to them to use for their clinic or whatever they had in their home. And anyway, the pastor of the little church there in Yetta, where Mary Lou lived, where we stayed that night, so many of us was there, but this particular time, I can remember she had a little camper in the backyard that someone would stay in, and their backyard had a little trench that come through there. I forgot what they called it now, but anyway, it was water, and people along through the neighborhood had some of them had their little house built right over this little channel. I forgot what they called it. They have them in Texas to irrigate with, but canal, yeah, a little canal, and they would build their house right over that, and have a hole in the floor, and they could use the water from right there. They didn't have to walk a long ways to carry water. Some of them had to walk out and down the creek or up the creek or the canal, and to us it was kind of it wasn't too healthy to think about some of their animals wading in that water upstream or downstream, but nevertheless, I started to say the little church there at Yetta, they were building it. It wasn't finished yet, and Brother Venanzio, who was the pastor, they lived in a little, I think it was a rented house, and it was about 100 yards from their house to their outhouse. And so Brother Carl Gray was with us at that particular time, I remember. And of course, Bud and Leona and Dora Fern and Mary Lou. And we took it on ourselves. We're going to build them a cement walk from their house to that toilet, because when it rained, water would get 4 to 5 inches deep between the two places. So we was going to build, and so we lit in to build this sidewalk, this walkway. All right, to do it, we had to have cement, we had to have sand, and we had to have gravel. And so some of us went to work. I know I was one that helped kind of level the place, dig some, and build forms. And while I was doing that, the men was doing that, Dora Fern and Mary Lou and
Mary Lou.
Okay, Dora Fern and Mary Lou, and one of the Mexicans that she knew went down to the river, which ran around the outer edge of Yetta. It's a beautiful river, and we had a baptismal service there. That's another story. But anyway, they went down there with Mary Lou's truck, and they shoveled gravel from that river.
Sand.
It was sand. Okay, I'm sorry. It was sand, yeah, because we had to have sand. And I don't remember gravel, but anyway, maybe it wasn't. Anyway, we had cement. So they brought that sand up there, and we all went to work. And we built a nice a walkway, and then right outside their back door of their little house was a water hydrant sticking up there about 10 feet from the kitchen door. and that was their water source. And of course, they had to walk out through the mud to that. So we made the little patio thing around that, made it nice for them. And that's one story that I'll never forget. And of course, there's others I could tell, but
I'll never forget either. That was Sam.
yeah, Dora Vern still remembers once in a while about how she felt after shoveling sand. We was in better health them days, though. We might have been soft, but we was a little bit tougher when we come out of Mexico.